Hi, I'm James with British Customs. Today we're going to show you how to install our engine guards on Street Scrambler 900 models. All right, so first thing we want to do is we're going to get this horn bracket out of the way, which will give us easier access to the nut on the back side there. So using your 12mm wrench, just loosen that nut, bolt, and I can take it out. You just let that hang down there. Now using a 17mm wrench, get up there and hold the nut. Using our 16mm socket, break that loose. And we're going to reuse this top bolt, and the bottom bolt you're going to use the one that comes supplied in the kit. So now again on the bottom, just pull the horn out of the way completely. So again with our 17mm wrench, gonna hold that nut back there. A 16mm socket. So just one thing, it definitely would be easier if you have a friend helping you, somebody that can hold this in place while you're putting the hardware in. But I'm going to show you that it can be done on your own. It's just not the easiest thing. I'm going to start by taking the supplied bolt, put it in the bottom mount, and you want to have your nut already installed on your wrench. So lay that down. We're going to get a wrench back in place there. You just want to come in and get this bolt started into that nut. One thing you'll notice, the difference between ours and some competitors is you didn't have to put any kind of spacer in there. So that's not something you have to deal with. The spacer is all part of the piece. Get that snugged up. You want to be able to move it a little bit. So this one's a little bit trickier here to do, because trying to get this up there with your wrench and get it at the right angle, you might end up cross-threading it. So you want to get it up there by hand, and you're just going to hold it in place. You'll see when it's in line there. Now I can put this back, put my bolt through, and get it started. You may drop the nut once or twice before you get it, but it's not impossible to do. So now start tightening that up. Hold that nut with the wrench. 17mm wrench, 16mm socket. Tighten that one up. Up. Then you want to final torque these to 105 Newton meters. And then you'll get your horn back in place. Use our 12mm wrench. Which might actually be easier to get from the other side. Okay, now we're going to do the same for the other side. So now again, we want to move our bolts here. A 16mm socket. Get your 17mm wrench and slide right up in there and hold that nut. Top. Again, get our 17mm wrench in there. $16mm socket. All right, now again, gotta try and gonna put the top bolt back in. And you need to get the nut back here by hand just to get it started. So if you watched any other videos, you know I have all the tools I need to do this job a lot easier, but I'm trying to show you can do it with, you know, just super minimal amount of tools here, but it is a lot harder to do. So to do this particular one here, we want to get a bolt in first, and then got to try and slide back there with your hand. The smaller your hands are, the easier this is going to be for you. You just get in there and got to turn that nut onto the bolt. Once it gets started, you can get the wrench in there. The problem is you can't get the wrench at the right angle that you need it, or you'll end up cross-threading the bolt and the nut. But right there, I was able to get it started. Now I can come in. And if this isn't going nice and easy getting in there, you got to stop because you're cross-threading it. It's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to be locked on there with your closed end of the wrench because you won't get it out once the bolt is tight. So you go back in there with the open end. And it'll tighten it. Again with a 17mm wrench, holding the nut, 16mm socket, tighten up this bolt. And again, you want to final tighten these to 105 Newton meters. So that's our engine guard install for the Street Scrambler 900. As you can see, it could be done with a minimal amount of tools. I recommend that you have a friend help you to hold things in place while you're getting things tightened up. Preferably somebody with small hands can get into the tight spots. If not, if you got all the proper tools to do it, then have at it. And thanks for watching.